The strays of Sparla. 'Tis you who lead them. 'Tis you they call the Duke of Dogs.
Aye, 'tis I they dub so. And in other pleasant ways. Prince of Pariahs, Thane of Thieves, Baron of Brigands, and Marquess of Mendacity.
Colourful titles all, yet you omit one. Common cutthroat!
I beg your pardon and cry foul! I am anything but common!
Gascon was born in around 1250 into the family of the Brossard, a noble family in Rivia. At the age of 8 years old, in 1258, his family revolted against King Reginald. They were defeated and the entire family was murdered, except Gascon, who managed to survive because he wasn't home at the time. King Reginald wanted the family completely destroyed. He even went as far as to have the dead Brossards being dug up, chopped to pieces and burned to ash. All the statues and gravestones were to be reduced to rubble as well. He even went as far as to promise the caretaker that he would share their fate if he didn't do as was commanded. With his family completely wiped out and disgraced, Gascon became homeless and his name lost its status. He joined the gang called the Strays of Sparla. After a while, he even became their leader. For about 9 years, he was plundering, looting and murdering with the Strays of Sparla. Till in 1267, they were used by Count Caldwell to distract Meve while he was trying to surrender the kingdoms to Ardal ab Dai. After they killed Lord Clayton at his residence, they were defeated and imprisoned by Meve and taken to the capital for sentencing. After they arrived, Meve herself ended up in the prison as well, where Gascon and the Strays of Sparla freed her and Reynard just in time before Count Caldwell's men could kill her. The reason he freed Meve was mostly selfish. In order to try and get money and amnesty from Nilfgaard, he wanted to have something they valued in order to make demands. And when he came across Meve in the prison, he found something of value, and that's the reason he freed her. However, over the course of the game, Gascon changed his mind. He started to respect and admire the queen and decides to no longer keep his end of the bargain with Nilfgaard. After reaching Red Lobadan, where he was supposed to deliver Meve, he made Nilfgaard open the gates, which made it possible to take the fortress. However, his betrayal is discovered and Meve has the choice to banish him from her army. No matter the choice, Gascon will return during the attack on Meve's life and help save her. After the Battle of the Bridge, when they enter Rivia, Meve has the option to follow Gascon into a graveyard where he tells her about his past. Meve here has the option to restore his family's graves. Gascon has 3 different endings in Thronebreaker. He could die in the fortress if Willem is in your army or in shackles when you get there. He could survive if he isn't sent to the fortress or if he's sent but Willem opens the gate. 2 of the endings are with his death and 1 is with him surviving. So if Gascon dies, his funeral will depend on if you followed him and restored his family grave or not. If you restored it, he'll be buried there. If you didn't, or if you just didn't follow him, he'll be buried in what I presume is the royal mausoleum. If he survives, he will live like a man of high birth again, till at one day he just rides off not to be seen again. It's only after playing the game and looking back, there's one thing I wonder about. King Reginald dies 1 year after the Brossards were murdered, so therefore it's reasonable to assume when the king died, he told Meve to trust no one except Reynard. This could possibly refer to the revolting of the Brossard family, but at the same time, this also could mean that Reynard was by Reginald's side. As Meve points out to Gascon, King Reginald was very angry and no one really wanted to stop him, fearing they would share the same fate. This could possibly have been the same thing that maybe stopped Reynard from giving any advice, since even Meve herself was afraid of him, it seems like. Well, not really afraid, but she didn't want to go against him then. Another thing that's weird, at least not really weird, just surprising, that if you count up the years, Gascon is only about 17 or 18 years old during the game, which is way younger than I expected. I expected him to be around late 20s, early 30s, but he's apparently only 17 or 18, since he was born in 1250, which makes 1267 about 17. So yeah, it's surprising. Alright, that was it for Gascon Brossard. If you've got any suggestions for other characters, leave it in the comments down below. Alright, bye.
Bravo, Your Grace. Well played.
I can't say the same for you, I fear. You'd have done better to die in battle. Bound for Lyria now, where the hangman will have his way with you.
Splendid! I've ever wished to see the capital.
Quite certain of yourself, you see.
Many afore you have braided nooses for me, Your Grace. Yet as you see, my neck's straight as a pike.
My threats are never hollow. And if it's an escape you weigh, well, we've yet to see any man abscond from the dungeons of Lyria Castle.
I'd hope so. For to be known as second just wouldn't be worth the trouble.